Hey guys, I thought that today I would put together a video that was a little bit more personal for myself, just some subject matter that I thought that I would love to talk about, especially featuring this drawing that I did of these two lovely ladies. This is actually a fan art piece of this YouTube channel called Show. Pardon my Chinese pronunciation, it's not my first language. I'm actually predominantly a Cantonese speaker, so Mandarin is not my strong suit. And they are a Chinese lesbian couple that sometimes uploads content onto YouTube. I believe they're much more popular back in mainland China, and I came across a video of theirs that they had made, which was sort of a mock music video / trailer for a potential movie series type situation featuring two female leads that are in love with each other. And I thought, what better time to talk about representation in media than behind this piece that I am drawing as sort of a tribute to that wonderful video that they put together. Now, before you guys come at me, I did receive the news this morning, looking at my Instagram, that they are no longer dating, much to my surprise and sadness. Nevertheless, I feel that this type of subject matter is very important to talk about, and one that I actually personally, in my own time, love to converse with my friends about. So, representation in art and why it is important. So the first point that I made on my little chart for myself was that it gives a voice to the represented party. It creates a sense of validation to be able to see yourself on screen, and in turn that creates a sense of recognition. One of the important points of representation, I think, is that it gives a voice to the people it represents. So one of the reasons I think that representation in art is important is because it gives a voice to the represented party. Whether that be your race, your gender, or your sexuality, these are all things that people inadvertently will cue on screen or in art or in literature or any type of representation out there, and it's something that the viewer will pick up on. And when a viewer picks up on a character that resembles themselves, it gives a sense of validation, because in a way that piece of artwork is recognizing their presence inside of the social fabric of the society that they live in. In turn, by creating these types of stories that involve a lot of different people of different backgrounds, it creates a sense of acceptance, because these characters that look like yourself or behave like yourself or have had common struggles as yourself are shown in these universes as being key players or as being more than just a one-dimensional person. And that's where other types of representation that have happened in the past that have been more on the stereotypical vein in media has been damaging, because it in a way invalidates the type of experiences that people in different groups may experience. For example, any of the older works like Breakfast at Tiffany's with the very yellow-faced character, it doesn't give representation that feels like validation and recognition and acceptance, because that character is more of a caricature of a race group than it is a character that represents a type of varied experience. So a good example of that would be this wonderful new series that I've really gotten into called Never Have I Ever. It's produced by Mindy Kaling, and it stars a range of characters, and one of those characters is an Asian American girl who I identify very strongly with, not because she resembles me in any way, but because her story is not hinging on the fact that her race is a large factor in her personality. In fact, it is one of her attributes, but they also give her a very rich home life. She has storylines that have to do with her personality and her struggles at home and how her relationship with the people around her. And so in a show like that, where the cast is very diverse and everybody has very specific personality traits that aren't color-coded, it feels very authentic and it feels like a warm hug. Now, another area that I think representation on screen and in art is very important is in the way that it normalizes people to the rest of society. For example, there was a period of time prior to now when it wasn't so chic and so acceptable to be part of the LGBTQ community, but since Drag Race has come along, and I'm not talking about the nitty-gritty first and second seasons, I'm talking about as it progressed and became more ingrained into society, as it got enveloped into popular culture and got picked up by VH1, I noticed that there was definitely a shift in attitude. People may not have been as understanding of the struggles of the LGBTQ community, and I know that it comes across as very serious sometimes, but by being able to normalize it and put out media that portrays people as part of the community in a way that was engaging and didn't focus solely on the part pertaining to sexuality, a lot of people were able to see that these were just individuals who had different varying personalities, and they all had their own narratives and their own dialogues, and that created a sense of empathy. And I think that it's pretty obvious, at least to me, that from the moment that Drag Race came out till now, the attitude towards people in the LGBTQ community has definitely shifted. There was definitely a lot more animosity. There still is, but I think that nowadays there's definitely a lot more in terms of love and acceptance, and people are more willing to accept that there are possibility that other people may have different experiences in life and different wants and needs. By having these types of medias out there, it also helps to dispel these preconceived notions of how people behave when they are part of a certain group. And I think that a lot of that has to do with representation and the ability to not only see people that represent and look like you, but also the ability to see people of different groups on screen, and it helps people develop a sense of understanding and to recognize that not everybody's story is the same. That is not to say that it is not possible to be misrepresented in the media, but that being said, I think that everything that we consume and we watch and we look at, we should take with a grain of salt and have an understanding that not everything that we look at is 100% the true experience of every individual out there that falls into these categories. Lastly, I think a very important part of representation is not just to give a voice to the represented party or to normalize these groups to the rest of society, but it also creates stronger communities because it helps to bridge the gap that separate communities have. So someone that may not have the same background as another individual will be able to create these connections because by sharing experiences or by having witnessed experiences, even if they are not your own, it helps to create a sense of empathy, and by empathy you'll be able to listen to other people, have conversations with other people, and create a stronger sense of belonging for everybody. And by creating a mutual experience, by being able to talk to each other about your experiences, it invites dialogue and it allows people to have conversations that are important to them. So I hope my rambling has been valuable to at least a few of you. If not, I hope it serve to work as background noise for all the other things that you may have doing throughout the day. Let me know below, what did you think? Do you think representation is important in art? And when have you seen representation in art that you felt was very valuable to your personal experience and growth? Until next time, thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please feel free to leave me suggestions for any topics that I should cover in future videos. Until next time, bye!